episode 6, and my guest today is Mr. Kevin Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, bro?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro.
And you look fucking beautiful as usual, man.
Appreciate it, man.
This man right here recently won in the heavyweight division, right?
Yeah, 203 plus. Yeah.
203 pounds plus and up. It could be up to anything, any weight.
There was guys in there from like 220 all the way up to like 285.
Yeah, well, Kevin Smith won the 2022 Golden Gloves boxing championship for that heavyweight division, and it was his first time ever competing.
Yeah, first time.
Oh, wow. So, man, congratulations to him. We're going to get off into that, but I want to give out the number to the show right now in case anybody wants to call in. It's yeah. Let me see. The call in line is 832-781-4903. I should know that by heart already, but my memory is terrible. I tend to study people, right?
All right.
And I liken myself to be a pretty good judge of character, right? So when I met you and I was around you for a little bit, I immediately understood that me and you were a lot alike.
Right.
And the fact that you tend to kind of analyze everyone else around you as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not that you feel like you're above, you just taking everything in.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and you're not scared to kind of, get into conversation, but your conversations are real.
Right.
So I admire that about you. And to put you in a box is to truly limit who you are as an individual, because there's so many layers to you.
Right.
But we'll jump into the boxing thing. Your most recent endeavor, which was you winning the tournament. Talk to me about how you got into the sport of boxing and how it's changed your life.
Man, how it's changed my life. It changed tremendously because it's just crazy. The day I walked in was January 1st, 2020, because I saw a post online. One of my friends from high school posted a free workout at a boxing gym. And I was just like, okay, I hit her up, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to go. I went up there, and she didn't even show up. You know what I'm saying? So I was in there by myself, me one-on-one with a trainer. So That's how it started, man. And ever since then, I never looked back. I just kept going, kept changing my diet, man. And, 2 years ago, when I walked into that gym, I was 325 pounds. Yeah. And now I'm sitting here 2 years later, 60 pounds, 65 pounds lighter, and now I'm winning Golden Gloves. So, man, so trust me, man, it changed my life tremendously, man. It got me more disciplined. I changed my diet, man. I got more healthy, and it gave me an outlet to cope with stress, too, because, I was a stressed young man at that time. So
yeah, talk to me about your coach. Your trainer's name is
Rosie.
Female
coach.
She's a female coach, and you would tell me about her. She's ex-military, right?
No, she's not ex-military. She works for government agencies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's a black belt. When I tell you this woman is real, hey, a lot of people say, oh, you got a female coach, man. Hey, I tell you, this woman don't play with anybody. She gets in the ring with men. She gets in the ring. She kicks. She does everything. So, and she pushes you to the limit. She's not gonna take it easy on you. She's in your face. Mm-hmm. She supports you. She gives you that, supportive vibe. But she's also gonna get on you if you slacking off. Yeah. So, definitely, man.
Anybody holding the mitts for you has got to be a tough lady.
Yeah.
I met her at your tournament, and she was above and beyond anything that you even said. She was more than that. You could tell that she was not only a friend, a mother figure to those other fighters that are in the gym.
It's a lot of teenagers in there.
It takes a lot for you to not only teach young kids, because they're mostly kids who come in,
right,
the discipline of boxing, but to also, along with that, comes a lot of lessons in life.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful thing, man. I always admire boxing coaches and any coaches for anything, because there's more than just showing up in X's and O's, man. A lot of these kids kind of they come in different situations in their life when they're somebody like her is most needed.
Right.
You
And
know.
she explained that to me, when I first walked in, because that's what actually got me staying in the gym, because when those kids started coming in, and I never pictured myself competing in the tournament.
Yeah.
This was just something that I was just doing to stay in shape and do anything. So when I stepped in the gym and I saw all these bright-eyed kids coming in, and I was able to work with them, encourage them and everything, that just kept me going.
Yeah.
So, and it also pushed me as well. So,
Yeah. So talk to me about that because I saw at the tournament, right? Normally, when you go to a boxing tournament, there's your club comes with you
Right.
as support, and I mean when it's anybody in your gym, if it's their time to fight, everything gets amped up, everybody stands up, everybody's cheering you on. But also, I saw that right with all the other fighters and your family that came to the gym,
Right.
but not only were they supporting you, they seemed to have a love and respect for you
Right.
that was beyond, y'all are family.
Right.
And they also looked up to you. It's a testament to you being a positive presence in that gym, I'm
Absolutely.
sure, and an influence on those kids as well. How'd you establish that relationship with them? And is it a lot of pressure on you to kind of make sure you uphold that standard, as you not only navigate your own boxing career, but help them along?
Absolutely. And that's part of the reason why I did Golden Gloves, to inspire them, because a
Yeah.
lot of those kids get in there, they're worried about getting hit, they got a coach. And once they see their coach go out and be successful, man, it inspires them to do more. Like, I didn't even take this home. This stays at the gym, so I want the kids to see this every day so they can get inspired to know that they could be a champion themselves.
Yeah.
So, man, just being there and just trying to, relate to them and be a relatable coach and to be a relatable person with them, telling them that I've been their age once and I know what they're going through, and trust me, you could achieve anything that you want to do. It's okay to be scared, it's okay to be nervous, but man, you got to take that leap and you got to push yourself further than you think you can go, and you're going to do great. You're going to do just fine. You know what I'm saying? If you win, that's great and all. If you lose, then take it as a lesson learned and find a way to make yourself better.
Yeah.
And that's the lessons that I teach, and I think that's the reason why the respect has grown for me within those kids, because I tell them, they like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, or I don't know if I can do this, and I'm like, yes, you can. Just go for it. You're going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? You got the talent. You can do it.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's beautiful, man. You got started in the sport fairly late in your life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
For boxing, I don't know if most of people know. Most boxers, professional or whatever, they start when they're young kids, around 7, 8, 9. They get into the sport, and just talk to me about if there are other people who are older and looking to get involved in the sport. What advice would you give them?
It's never too late.
Yeah.
Man, you could just, if it's something that you always want to do, man, don't let anything hold you back just because of your age. Because look, I'm living testament that even though at 33 years old I walked into a gym, that's, people think that's past your prime.
Yeah.
But man, I stepped in there, I pushed hard, I pushed my body further than I thought I could go.
Yeah.
And you just get better every single day. And man, once you set a goal for yourself, you could achieve it, man. Nothing's stopping you.
Yeah, because it's a weird feeling when you're older. I began my boxing journey when I was older as well. My dad was a boxer. He was a professional boxer. I boxed when I was small and then picked it up again, like really late in life. I fell in love with the sport, and, I just love it. So I'm like, you know what, man? I want to do it. I want to fight at least once. And it turned into a bunch of fights, right? And it is a weird kind of vibe when you're older in there with those young kids, because you do feel like, especially when you show up at a tournament.
Right.
And you might be fighting, you're 35 years old, you might be fighting a 19-year-old, 22-year-old. It feels weird,
Right. The guy I was fighting in the finals, I think he was like 25. So I was like,
yeah. And that's a beautiful thing you're doing, man. I noticed something that was touching, and if you don't want to talk about it, you let me know. I saw you, as soon as the fight was over, you had a medallion that you put. I think you have it on now. And it looked like it was of importance to you. Tell me about the significance of that.
Well, this is actually my mother. My mother actually had liver problems, and she passed away in September 2019. And I love my mother to death. My mom, I was always a mama's boy, so it was very tough to see her in the hospital, suffering like she was, and it was very hard to lose her because my mom was only 64 years old. She wasn't old at all, and man, it just this is the reason why I got this. I wear it all day, every day. I look to her for strength, and man, this is even though she's not here, I know she's supporting me. So
Yeah.
this is important to me, man. This is just everything to me right here. So
Wow,
I always
yeah.
keep it on my chest.
Um, I want to stay on that because I really wanted to do a show. So in 2019, you were employed at the post office, right?
Right.
I do this show because there's certain things about people and coworkers that we are unabreast of, right? And you went through that situation, and I think, if I recall, we spoke briefly, about it, and you were pretty upset, pretty
Right.
distraught, understandably. And I wanted to do a show specifically about dealing with loss and grief while while you having to go to work every day. How did you get through that period of time, man?
Man, it was hard. I don't know. I took some time off, but it was just hard to be at home just thinking about it, because even when the day that it happened, everybody was calling me and I just had to keep saying it. And that was what was messing my mind up. So I don't know. I just felt like I needed to go back to work to kind of just occupy my mind doing other things. And it was hard. I just surrounded myself with, my friends and family, people that supported me
Yeah.
the entire time, and I just focused on that. I focused on the positives. I didn't want to just dwell on the tragedy of losing my mother. I wanted to think about all the good times I had with her.
Yeah.
And know that she's still going to be with me, for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
because, memories, they live forever. And once you have those good memories, you have good times with people, man, you just focus on those things. And
Yeah.
that's what I did.
I love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Okay. Uh, you've always been an athlete.
Yes.
You played. I went to Sam. You went to Sam. I ain't even gonna talk about mine because I didn't even make a game. I had to come home. But you actually played football in Huntsville, and you were a star athlete in high school as well.
Yes.
Where'd you go to high school?
Klein Forest High School.
Okay, Klein Forest. Talk to me about your collegiate career and your whole football experience.
College football, it was definitely hard to start out because you go from being in high school where you're the best player on your team, sophomore, junior, senior year, and then you get up there, and then you got all these better athletes, man, and it was such hard competing for a job. And I got redshirted my freshman year, but it was. Redshirt freshman year, it was very hard to get on the field because I had all these seniors, guys that had been there so long. So
Yeah.
it was a little bit of a humbling experience, but I also used that to get in the weight room. I stayed in the weight room all summer, got bigger, got faster, got stronger. And then redshirt sophomore year, I was starting. And, man, I just, I love the sport of football. It's been my favorite sport. So, man, I cherish all those games. I loved all those games. I love to travel. I mean, I had never been on an airplane until I got to Sam Houston when we had to travel out of town. So, man, that was an experience in itself. Playing big teams like Texas, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, man, it was just being in.
In that moment, did you realize that these probably are going to be some of the best times in my life? And I kind of
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
is just just being able to, because football was always an outlet for me. Because you've been around me. I'm a very mild mannered guy, but if you catch me on the football field,
Yeah,
I mean,
and I saw that in the ring. I saw that
me.
come out in the ring.
Yeah, man, I could be the completely different person. Once that switch goes off and I'm in a athletic mode, man, I'm an animal.
That's
And
what they call it, beast mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me about life after football, after college, and what that was like for you.
It was a little bit of a scramble because once you leave school, you leave with your degree. You've been doing this for so long where you're just going to school and you just have like such certain extracurricular activities. Now you got to get in the workforce. You got to wake up every day. It was a little bit of a change, but I kind of scrambled around to see what I was gonna do, work so many different jobs, but Other than that, and I kind of lost, first out of college, I kind of lost, my what's the word, like routine where I just didn't, work out as much.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a transition, but once I actually got comfortable, I found things. I mean, I was in a relationship at the time, and yeah, I
Was
just
this with somebody you met in school?
yeah, absolutely. I met him my senior year in school. Yeah,
Okay.
and we ended up actually getting married. So yeah.
Okay. Well, talk to me. You were married for a time. How did that experience affect your life, your views on relationships, and just women and dating in general?
Uh, oh, talk about my marriage, man.
Talk to us.
Man.
Be real, man. We out here learning. We out here learning.
Ah man. It had good times, but it definitely had some bad times, and it got to a point that we just weren't talking, man. We were literally living in the house together. We were just walking past each other,
How
man.
old are you at this time?
I will turn 35 in 2 weeks.
No, I'm sorry. During this period in your
Oh,
marriage, how
during
old are
during
you?
that period of
Yeah.
time, I got married in 2013. I was 26. I officially got divorced in 2019. So, yeah, I was 30. I mean, 31.
Okay, so it went about 5 years.
Yeah, we got married for 5 years. To was together for 10.
Okay. If you had to go back, what are some of the things that you probably would do differently?
Communication is key. That's the big thing. Cause I mean, if you're in a relationship, you gotta be able to work out problems. Y'all gotta be able to talk. Y'all gotta be able to work things out and just, what I'm saying, come to some type of common ground. Cause y'all are not gonna agree on everything. Relationships are gonna have the ups and downs. Y'all are gonna get mad. Y'all are gonna be happy with each other and everything. And I think the lack of communication is where that relationship failed because we didn't find each other. We weren't trying to, seek a answer to our problems. We just kind of just let things marinate and let things sit there.
Was it
And
because you were young?
yeah, I think that had something to do. And she was actually younger than I was. We were both just being very stubborn. You have to humble yourself in a relationship as well because you have to find compromise. You can't just be like, oh, I'm right, you're wrong. You can't do that. You have to talk to each other, understand each other and work things out.
Man, that's so difficult, man, when you're young like that. I'm sure that from your football days, they're so close. That ego wasn't probably removed
Yeah,
at that point, man. But a lot of these lessons you take into your life now from that.
absolutely.
You take some of that. Um, it seems at a certain point in your life, you made a concerted effort to kind of change your life uh, as far as your health
Right.
and your physical health, but not only that, also your mental health.
Absolutely.
Explain like where the transition kind of took place.
Transition definitely took place. I want to say around 2019 when all the, paperwork and everything was getting filed. Because I actually started seeing a counselor, and it actually saved me, man. When I tell you I had hit a rock bottom, man, I was working a job I hated. Didn't have any peace in my household, man. It was like chaos everywhere I went. So, man, I had to seek out help to get myself mentally back together. Because I had times where I was thinking about who would miss me if I wasn't here.
Yeah.
And man, that's a dark place to be in. It's not. I would definitely say, man, if you're feeling that type of way, if you just feel that you just need to talk to somebody, man, I would definitely suggest to people go talk to somebody, whether it be friends, whether it be a professional, whether it be anybody, man. Just get your feelings out, cause do not hold that stuff in, man, cause that stuff is gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
And I let that do that to
Talk
me
to
for
me.
so many years.
Yeah.
I let it do so many years, man. Like I was just, some days I was in tears. Some days I was just feeling down. Some days I was just like, man, I just need to go. Like man,
Talk to me about how. Can you recognize now where it started to become an issue for you?
Big Kev,
yeah.
some people comment on the video.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I think we got a couple comments on the video. What's going on?
Oh my bad. Nah, people comment on y'all video.
Yeah. Read some of them for us.
From Cambrell Watts.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Cam.
Cam.
Yeah.
Shout out Cam.
Yeah.
How you doing, girl? Call in. You need to call in.
Chocolate bite.
Chocolate
Yeah.
bite. Yeah, I appreciate the comment, Cam. Shit, call in, y'all. You guys call in, man. This is a good interview. This is a good man. Um, so back to when you were kind of going through some mental struggles. Can you look hindsight being 2020? Can you look back and recognize when or what could have first of all, what contributed to that? All the things that were, was it a domino effect of multiple things kind of piling up on you? Because
Right.
sometimes in your life you can get overwhelmed, and were you feeling anxiety about too many things, or
Absolutely.
were there separate events and it was a slow process?
I think, I was because at the time I worked for Child Protective Services, and a lot of
Oh, a
people don't.
lot of that you saw.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw so much
that's
bad stuff every single day. I dealt with people that were, I don't know how to even describe. There were so many kids that were troubled. There were so many parents that were troubled, and then I would just it would bring me down to hear their stories, because their stories were a lot worse than mine. And then for me to be down and then having my own problems, I had the chance to go home, and I thought I would be able to have somebody to vent to at home, but I didn't have that. So everything was just staying inside, man, and it
oh
just,
wow.
man, when I tell you it was building up. Like I said, like you said, a domino effect. I just didn't have anything, and at that time, like CPS demanded so much of my time. I think that's where the weight gain started. I started gaining so much weight. When I tell you, I put on like 30 pounds in
It's
one year.
a completely different transition from you being a college athlete to
Yeah, being in corporate
yeah,
America, yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely so. It's like, man, I wasn't able to work out. That was my outlet to get all my stress out, and I couldn't even do that. So it was
Yeah.
like, man, the weight gain happened. I had nobody to talk to. I was going every day, listening to a lot of people's problems. I had my own problems, and it kind of puts a lot of things. It just weighs down on you. It's just everything was weighing down on my shoulders, and I just didn't know what to do. So yeah, man, I had to seek out somebody. I had to go talk to somebody.
Talk to me about some of your CPS work. Is that something you just fell in, or are you an advocate? You obviously you deal with kind of making sure children are, I guess you're a good influence.
Right. Because you got to get to the kids early, man. Because me, I didn't
Wh-
have that. I didn't
okay.
have a person at that age reaching out to me and talking to me, letting me know that, supporting me things. I kind of had to do things on my own.
Yeah.
So to be there for those kids, especially those kids in high school, letting them know, just giving them lessons that I've learned at that age, so they could take that with them going into college.
Man, I couldn't imagine probably seeing a lot of the stuff that you saw. It would weigh on me heavy, man,
Oh
especially
yeah,
in
injury.
regards to kids.
Oh yeah, injuries, environments, as far as dirty houses, all types of things, man. Man,
You
couldn't.
had to kind of get away from that for your own.
Absolutely, man. I left that job in 2018.
Is that commonplace in that line of work? Is there a high turnover
Oh
because of
yeah,
that?
definitely a
It
revolving
just
door.
weighs too heavy on.
Yeah, a lot of people. Because when I tell you, it's you have to go to work. You're up there at 8 o'clock. Then you have certain situations that get real bad, and you actually have to go to court, remove kids. So you're up till 1 o'clock in the morning, placing kids. Then you have to write affidavits. Then you got to be up in court at 8 o'clock the next day. And then you're in court all day till 3 o'clock. Then you got to go see the kids again, make sure they're adjusting to their environment. So you're up again till midnight. You're just getting back home, and then 7 a.m. Your phone's binging. You got 3 brand new cases to work, that very next day. So it's like you going off of 5-6 hours of sleep,
Yeah.
and you got to get back up and go deal with some other stuff. So yeah, man.
Well, so I didn't mean to for this to turn into a CPS thing, but there's a lot of people who have certain opinions on whether CPS is necessarily good or CPS is bad. Can you is the system flawed in that regard? Is there reform that needs to be made? Because it sounds like those conditions that the employees are having to kind of endure and encounter are a little.
Yeah, I
It
mean
can
it's a lot.
desensitize you because you're not really locked in.
Right.
You're just from case to case to case, and you're not really like honing in on some small things you might miss. Is
Right.
it?
I definitely agree with that. They definitely need more staff. They need to actually distribute the work a lot more because that's a lot to take on. Because I mean, there was a time where everybody I knew in my unit had 40 plus cases, working with 40 plus families at one time, and that's crazy to deal with. And you know, when they opened up the, you know, the area, because we started going citywide. We were actually in a zone when I first started where we only worked basically the northwest side of Houston, which is like Cypress, Katy, kind of up in that
Yeah.
area. And, you know, so everybody was able to, you know, get to that place, be able to see multiple families. But when they opened it citywide, you could be in cases in Pasadena,
Yeah.
then get a case in the southwest side, then all of a sudden you got to drive all the way up to Tomball.
So it's spreading y'all even thinner.
Yeah, all up, and you know, because
Wow.
you know, you got technically you're supposed to work 8 hours a day, but when you're working with CPS, you spend the 4 hours of that in your car, especially in Houston with so
Yeah.
much traffic. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Wow. Okay. You got kind of like a grown man vibe to you, man. Just me knowing you, man. The music you listen to at work, your style of dress. When in my head, I call you Big Smooth, man. What are some of your music and fashion influences, man?
Man, I'm R&B all day, man. I like to chill, like to relax, man. Honestly, I'm a lover at heart, man. You know, I have
Yeah.
fun. I fight, do all that stuff, man. But yeah, them love songs, some old schools. Still stuck in the 99, 2000 R&B. So, yeah, definitely do that. But man, as far as like style, man, I look around. You know, I'm definitely a t-shirt guy, jeans. You
Nah,
know,
I looked on your Instagram, man. You was fly on there, man. I
Yeah.
ain't seen no t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah.
You had the pimp shoes on.
Hey, that's some special events, man. I could turn it up when I, you know, get on some special events. You know, that was definitely. I think I know which one you talk about, the Christmas party with the blaze and all.
You
Yeah,
was out
yeah.
there killing it, man.
Yeah.
I said, look at Big Smooth, man.
That was actually the first time I wore a bow tie too. Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of changes things when you put something on and you like, man, I'm starting to like this because I was that, we from the, like you say, 99 to 2000.
Yeah.
We used to baggy jeans, but when
Yeah.
you put on a nice fit and you actually look good, you be like,
Yeah.
all right, I think I get it now.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to clean it up, man. I got some suits in the closet, man. They ain't
Yeah.
some of them ain't made an appearance yet, but they will in due time. So
Yeah. Well, hey, man, we covered a bunch. I don't know if you want to go longer, man, but I think that you, I really wanted you to get out that point, man, about, let's go back. I apologize because I do want to make it a point to kind of touch back on the warning signs of you kind of being overwhelmed with the mental health issue. And what are some things that others can do for somebody who may be going through something, right? What can those people around you, what could have been beneficial to you during that time?
I don't know. I think you got to get out of your own head because during that time, you know, especially being a man, they tell you that you're supposed to be able to bear anything. So they tell you, be like, oh, you a man, suck it up, you got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, that stuff gets overwhelming, and sometimes even as a man, you need somebody to talk to. Because they always teach men to be strong, but sometimes it's okay to be vulnerable at
Yeah,
times.
I saw you promote a lot of positivity amongst men. You say, I'll never tear another black man down.
Absolutely not, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Because it's tough out here for being a man in general, and then definitely being a black man. It's really tough, man. So definitely, I sympathize with everybody. It gets hard, man. Life is hard, especially now, man. There's so much in the world going on. Stepping outside the door, man. There's so many stresses that we got to deal with. Cost of living's going up, cost of food's going up, man. It's so much things going on that's gonna affect us, and man, it gets hard. It's overwhelming, man. So
Man, tell me where your heart comes from, man, because this has been a treat for me, man, because like you said, you're a quiet guy. You're pretty introverted. I know you have an opinion. You're
Right.
an intelligent man. You have an opinion, but you don't go sharing it with everybody.
No.
So this has been a pleasure for me. Talk to me about where your heart comes from, man.
Man, my heart comes from my mom. My mom has always been, she's always had a big heart. She would always give her last to anybody. and I learned that growing up, and I took that influence from her because I always
Sounds like you continuing her legacy, man.
absolutely,
Yeah.
my mom, she took care of a lot of people. She helped a lot of people out. She was always, trying to be positive. And if she could spread her positivity to anybody else, whether it be, taking them out to eat, or doing something nice for them. She sees something out in the store, she'll buy it, just to, make people happy, and
Yeah.
that's definitely something that, lifting people up, because you never know what type of day somebody's having.
Yeah.
Somebody could be on the brink of something, and then, you just see something at the store or something they always was interested in, and you just bring it to them. Something that costs $5, man, could just brighten up their entire day.
Yeah, and that people talk crazy to me about me because I'm the opposite. I'm pretty extroverted, right? I
Right.
come in, I talk to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but it's weird too because I am an introvert. I can be alone. I think that me being outwardly, you know, outwardly just interacting with people is maybe a defense mechanism because
Right.
that's what I want to put out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I make sure that I tell everybody in the world. Of course, my fiance is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, but I tell everybody, hey man, you look nice today, because like you said, those small things, like you being thoughtful and buying somebody something that I remember that they wanted this.
Right.
Little things like that make a huge difference, man,
Right.
to somebody who may be going through something. It's those small things, man, that can
Absolutely.
change and totally turn something around that you had no idea.
Right.
It's a small gesture,
And it's
but
so small to you.
that
You be like,
goes a
oh,
long way.
yeah, it's not a. You be like, oh, it's not a big deal. It was only $10, but you never know, man. That could bring a tear to somebody's eye. Just change their whole day, change
Yeah.
their life.
And I'll never understand why everybody doesn't do something like that.
Mhm.
It's really difficult for me to see somebody who's like really selfish, or I just don't understand it. There was a beautiful soul at that boxing event. Now that I think about it, and it was your sister, right?
Right.
Talk to me about you guys' relationship growing up. Not only that, but how it's changed since your mother passed.
Me and my sister, we're 6 years apart. So she was.
She's older than you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the youngest. And she, so she was in high school. I was in elementary. So we, growing up, we were in the house together, but we really couldn't just relate. I mean, we had, brother, sister always have their issues. That's just how it is. But
Yeah.
ever since, when my mom went into the hospital, me and my sister definitely, we grew closer. We definitely spent a lot more time together because we know that life is. Because we didn't even know nothing was wrong with my mom,
Yeah.
before she went into the hospital. And, we know that, life is not promised. You know what I'm saying? You could be gone tomorrow. You never know. You just walk in the streets and something bad could happen. So since then, me and my sister have definitely picked up a lot of our communication. We have seen each other a lot more. As you see, she came to my, boxing event.
Yeah.
She was very nervous because I was telling her about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this," and she was like, "You boxing? You gonna get hit? You gonna get hit in the face?" And
Yeah.
she told me during the fight she was cringing up every time I got hit, and she, but just the love and support she's been showing me. Has been great.
That's exactly what I saw, man. There was a different level of love that you saw from her compared to everyone else, but it was also a little bit of respect and admiration because this was something that she had never seen before.
Yeah, and she wore my medallion
Yeah.
during the fight. She was.
She was very proud of you, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, as we all were. Yeah, man. This has been a pleasure, man. Like I said, I was really looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better, man. I'm glad everyone else got a chance to know you and understand who you are. Where you gonna go next as far as your boxing career goes?
Well, Rosie wants me to. She says the next fight is going to be in May. I don't know exactly where or when, but she definitely wanted to wait till after my birthday because birthday, I'm just 35. That's a big year, man. I'm gonna have some
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Then after that, I'm gonna train hard for 30 days and then end up wherever she wants me to end up in.
Okay.
Go up in there and try to get a win wherever it's at. I don't know. She said something about she wants me to fight in Vegas, so we gonna see how that's gonna go.
Ooh, You know I'm there, man.
Yeah.
You know I'm there.
So yeah,
Hey, man, if I see you on somebody undercard, I'm gonna lose my mind, man. I'm gonna lose it.
yeah, she
So
talks.
is your plan to take this as far as it'll go? Or are you kind of being conservative in what you want to do, and you have a finish line?
Honestly, I'm being conservative, but I'm just having fun, man. I'm gonna take it as it come. I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna push myself, and hopefully keep racking these wins up and just see where it takes me. I mean, that's basically what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I never picture myself competing,
Yeah.
But
But who told you when you told me, hey man, I've been working out, man. I'm in this boxer gym, and I looked you in the eye. I said, you gonna fight? He said, nah, man, I'm just training, man. I'm just trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
Who told you, man?
You told me that. You definitely did tell me that. You was like, man, Kevin, you ready, man?
You gonna fight, man.
I remember I used to bring my videos and show you to them on Insta, show you my videos of me working out, and you was like, man, you ready, bro? You gonna get in there? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And with Golden Gloves, Rosie was telling me about this for a minute, and I literally was putting it off because I was like, man, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna chill. This is not something I could picture myself doing. So I remember I registered the very last day. Like, we had to have all our registration stuff in by midnight, and I got it in at 11:30 p.m.
What changed your mind? Yo, you said you were doing it for the other people in the gym.
Exactly. For the kids, because they was like, coming up to me like, Kevin, you gonna fight? Coach, you gonna fight? And I was like, I don't know, we gonna see. Yeah. And I kept telling them. Then I started saying, yeah. Then I remember walking in that day, and Rosie was like, you got to have it done by the night. Let me know. And
so she was still on the fence. She didn't know whether you were going to do it or not.
Right. When I tell you I turned my papers in at 11:30, registered, it had to be in by midnight. I got it in by 11:30.
Yeah.
And she was like, once I turned it in, I called her. She was just like, all right, there ain't no turning back now.
You got a flair for the dramatic.
Yeah. She said, there ain't no turning back now. You ready? You here then?
Man, people don't understand the high level of anxiety. Like, not only that, you signing up and registering and understanding what all this entails,
right.
Because just like you, it's one thing to go, right? We go and we watch you fight.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really get what it took for you the 2 years prior, every day, the training, the running, killing your body. It was times I was in the gym. I would go at 9. I had the keys to the gym. I wouldn't leave there till 2 a.m.
Right.
Like exhausted, But you understand, especially once you register that paperwork, somebody else is out here. They working and plus if you have a job, we got to go to work and all that, and in between.
Yeah, and that's what took a lot out of me at Golden Gloves, because it was like, it was a 3-night
event.
Yeah,
that's what was crazy. This man was coming to work every day.
I was at work every day on my feet.
You fighting in 2 hours? What are you doing? And he was cool as can be, like, oh man, I'm about to go get me a Subway sandwich.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'll be freaking out.
Yeah, I was on my feet all day, man, out in the sun. In
yeah.
a hot truck, man, just.
And this was a week that the mail was heavy.
Right, and I would get off at like 2-3 o'clock. I had to go make weigh-ins by 4.
Yeah.
Before 4, get weighed in, do all this stuff, register. Then I had to go find something to eat, go to the gym, get stretched out, come back, meet the doctor at 6, and then next thing you know, I'm getting warmed up to get in the ring. So it was like, man, I did that for 3 straight nights, and man,
So after the win, have you fallen in love with the sport?
Oh man, I've always been into contact sports. Boxing was something.
You're a big fan of UFC as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I started out in high school. I also was I did football, but I also did wrestling during off-season football.
Oh, you were a wrestler?
Mm-hmm. I was a wrestler. I actually did that. I wrestled nationally a couple years too.
What?
Yeah,
bro. How many lives have you led, man?
Yeah, a lot, I guess.
So you were a wrestler as well?
I was a wrestler in high school.
For how many years?
I did it from sophomore year all the way up to senior year in high school. Senior year, I actually was ranked number 1 at one point in high school.
What the fuck
and yeah, I think my final
you were ranked number 1 in high school.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
I'm assuming you were heavyweight.
Yes.
You guys didn't have to cut any weight?
275 was the weight class. So
did you
as
have
long
to
as
cut?
you was no.
Oh,
I was
okay.
in high school. I was about 260. I was good. So I was eating what I wanted. Never had to worry about making weight.
Okay, because that's a huge aspect of that style of wrestling. The guys cutting weight and all of that. So with that, with me finding out new information, would you ever do any kind of mixed martial arts?
It's on the table, man. I'm just not big on kicking. That's all it is. I mean, I'm good with the knees and the elbows.
I got to
but
stand up and walk around.
But the
My
kicking.
boy, my boy, wow, man.
Hey, but yeah, it's in high school I was actually ranked number one. I was 44 and 2. But I was I was
Man, how you ain't gonna divulge this information, man?
yeah, but I don't know. I think around that time because when we got to regionals, it was January, February, and then I was doing all of my recruiting visits for college. I was getting scouted. I was going to all these recruiting visits. I was missing practices. So when I got to regionals and state, I really just was so tired. I didn't really do good. So I think I finished 6th in state that year, my senior year.
Yeah.
But, it was all right. I felt like I should have done better. They had me picked to finish 3rd, but I lost a couple key matches and I didn't make it to that point. But other than that, then after that, I wrestled for USA Wrestling. I did Greco-Roman and freestyle. I was standing across the mat from a couple nationally ranked guys.
This is
I won a couple, didn't win.
Bro,
lost a couple.
You
so.
really just blew my mind.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So I had fun, man. Wrestling was definitely a big change. And yeah, I had fun doing it.
I'm speechless, man.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing to leave out, man.
I mean, nobody ever asked, though. I mean, it was, it's part of my history, man. I had fun doing it.
Yeah.
I had to do something because it was if you weren't playing football, coach was like, you got to do something. So it was either wait till track came around. I wasn't good at basketball, so I was like, wrestling was there.
So you're somebody who always constantly has to be doing something.
Absolutely. Coming up, man, I was always just had to be active, man, because if I was sitting still, even now I'm like that now. Even if I'm sitting still, I don't feel right. If I was like, oh, I haven't worked out 4 or 5 times this week, it just doesn't feel right. So I got to put in the extra work the next week. So
Yeah.
I developed that mentality again. I feel like I got to stay here. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how old my body feels, I got to keep going now.
Yeah. Man, it sounds like you're in a beautiful place, man, and I'm glad you came out of that small dark period
Right.
a better human being on the other side, man. I'm your biggest fan now, man.
Appreciate
I was always that, but now even more so, man. I love you, brother.
I love you too, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. Till next time, y'all. God bless y'all. Before we go, man, give out your social media, man, in case people want to follow you.
I'm
Especially
only on Instagram. It's big _BIG_wide man WIDEMAN 300. So that's my Instagram tag. Go follow me.
any shout outs you want to do, man? People in the gym.
Oh, definitely shouts out to Coach Rosie, man. She's definitely my friend first. She's my coach, so I appreciate her pushing me, and everybody that's supporting me, everybody in my life, everybody that I love, everybody that loves me back, man. I appreciate everybody.
Yeah. Rosie, next time, man, you got to come through, girl.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for listening. I'll see y'all next week. God bless y'all, man.
Yeah.
Peace. Man, this man was... Let me turn this camera off, man, so we can start cussing.
Y'all got trash in out here?
Just over there by the front door.
All right.
Yo, Skrill!